In exactly a week from today, Fnaf turns 10 years old. And to celebrate, Scott Cawthon put out a notice on Twitter detailing a full week of Fnaf announcements, every day from now until the anniversary. You see, for a long time, Scott Cawthon didn't have a public Twitter account. Okay, well, he did, but apart from this one Fnaf movie post he made in 2017, it was eternally inactive. And also it's suspended now, for some reason. Scott, what did you do?! But this long trend of Scott Cawthon not having an official Twitter account ended last May, when he joined Twitter under the name Fnaf_Scott Games, which for all intents and purposes seems like it will be acting as a replacement to the old Scott Games website, where all of the latest updates and Fnaf teasers used to be posted.
Those were the days.
And about a month later, the account posted a tweet saying that he had a full release schedule of content planned for the anniversary, which would be coming out the next day. And with that, the schedule was released on June 19th, and a revised version of the schedule was released about a month and a half later, only yesterday afternoon, with the places of Steel Wool announcement and Scott Cawthon interview being swapped, as well as the second list just containing less details overall. And while a few items on this list are pretty self-explanatory, like the release of Into the Pit and the Scott Cawthon interview, most of them are pretty vague without some more context. So let's take a look at each one of these items on the list in the lead up to FNAF's 10th anniversary. The first item on this list is a game called myPOPGOES, created by the prolific fan game developer Kane Carter, of course. This game is supposed to be a sort of Tamagotchi-like simulator where one has to feed and take care of a version of Kane Carter's character, POPGOES the Weasel, get it? By keeping certain health stats full. And at the time of writing this video, the game was released just a few hours ago. The game looks to be an expanded version of a game Kane Carter released last year by the same name, with this version having lots of new content, like more minigames, challenges, and other characters besides just POPGOES. In the Steam images for the game, we can also see what looks like Stone the Crow from the POPGOES series, and Candy the Cat for some fanverse crossover. And this game is rumored to open the door for the release of Kane Carter's official fanverse title, which has been in development for the last few years, POPGOES Evergreen. And speaking of fanverse titles, the next game on our list coming out tomorrow is a demo for the remake of the massively popular fan game, The Joy of Creation, developed by someone going by the name of Nixon on Twitter. And on the 19th of June, to coincide with the release of the first version of the list, a trailer for the demo was released, with the full game planning to release sometime in 2025, and promising to be a fully revamped version of The Joy of Creation within the engine Unreal 5, with updated graphics, gameplay, and story, using a mix of first-person free roam and sections with more classic FNAF gameplay. August 3rd will see the release of a new FNAF book called VIP. The book is alleged to be a choose-your-own-adventure type story that follows a character called Devin into the Pizzaplex to discover a character called VIP, which stands for Very Informative Pig, which is really cool, by the way, because I've always liked FNAF's pig animatronics. Pig Patch from FNAF 6 and Pork Patch from FNAF World are really cool characters design-wise in my opinion, and the design for VIP looks to be pretty sick as well. The choose-your-own-adventure story apparently centers around the pig animatronic giving out coveted pizza tickets to kids. It is rumored to have multiple endings and multiple difficulty settings with a lot of different plot choices. On August 4th, we will be getting a second interview between Dawko and Scott Cawthon, which is certainly very exciting. The first interview, which was published on August 8th, 2018 for the 4th anniversary of FNAF, Scott agreed to do the interview only if Dawko beat Ultimate Custom Made on max difficulty, which of course he did. In the first interview, Dawko took questions from fans, with the only rule being that Scott would not answer any questions relating to the lore. And I'd assume this time around things will be very similar, except of course Scott answering questions relating to all things FNAF that happened after 2018. The next two are probably the most vague on the list, the first being collab announcement, which I've seen some people saying could be a FNAF collaboration with another game. Fortnite and Dead by Daylight are a few I've seen come up a lot, but obviously that's just total speculation by fans, and there's no evidence that any of that is actually the case. So we'll just have to wait and see. The second more vague item is Steel Wool announcement, which if I had to guess is probably the announcement of some other new DLC for Security Breach, which would probably continue to build out the lore of the Mimic and the origin of these very creepy old-style suit models that were found at the end of Ruin. Although it's entirely possible it could be an update for Help Wanted 2, a new game, or something else entirely. The second to last one here is also a pretty confusing one. A demo for something called 5 Laps at Freddy's. And I've seen a lot of people suspect that this could be some sort of Fnaf-themed go-kart racing game with the more absurdist style of Fnaf World or Freddy in Space, but I have a different theory. In the original post, before the list was updated, 5 Laps at Freddy's was listed as being developed by ClickTeam, which is the company that made the software engine that everything from FNAF 1 to 6 was made in. And if you go to the ClickTeam Twitter account, a few different images for a new FNAF game that looks to be starring Lolbit were posted. So from that, I'd have to believe that the game being shown here is in fact 5 Laps at Freddy's. Also, Kane Carter tweeted this, and you know what? Yeah, I think this is actually right. Scratch everything else I just said. This is definitely true. Okay, whoa, so quick update. Just as I was finishing editing this, it turns out that I was 100% right about the 5 Laps at Freddy's being the ClickTeam project that had been teased, because ClickTeam made an announcement on their channel saying in 48 hours, discover whatever the heck 5 Laps at Freddy's is, with a link to a YouTube trailer that premieres in 48 hours. Okay, last we have confirmation that Into the Pit will be releasing on the anniversary itself, August 8th. The game is being developed by a company called Mega Cat Studios, which as far as I can tell, haven't really done any notable games besides Into the Pit. The game is also, of course, adapted from the first of the Fazbear Fright stories, where a young boy named Oswald travels back in time to witness William Afton committing his murders, before returning home to the present to find out that whatever he did in the past caused his father to be replaced by Springtrap. And this game appears to be following the exact same storyline in a really pleasant-looking pixel art style. Now, the only other thing that was in this Twitter post by Scott Cawthon was the implication that we might also be getting news for the second FNAF movie on top of everything else sometime during the week. And sure enough, just a few hours ago, Scott posted this image to the same Twitter account, showcasing work on the next round of animatronic puppets for the second movie. And well, I didn't really recognize exactly what this was upon a first glance. A few people in the comment section of that tweet have pointed out that it looks a lot like the spine of a FNAF 2 style endoskeleton. So this means that either that specific endoskeleton itself or the endoskeleton of one of the toy animatronics is what we're seeing here, which is super exciting. And, you know, with all this news, I am really happy that Scott Cawthon has stayed so active in the continued development of FNAF as a series. It was pretty disheartening when a few years back he was pushed to make a statement announcing his retirement, after a rather vicious cancellation attempt over political beliefs that he may or may not hold. So I really do think it's a good thing that he has somewhat walked back that statement and stayed very present at the helm of the series. Because I honestly don't think that FNAF would really still be FNAF without Scott's instantly recognizable vision, art style, and way of storytelling. Okay, so that is in fact everything. And now all there is to do is wait, and see how these announcements turn out over the next week. So yeah, that was the video. Oh, and also if you're wondering why my hair looks so downright disgusting, it's because I'm sweaty. I've been lifting, I've been doing some looks maxing, all that stuff, and you know, I normally wear a hat, but like I'm just not feeling it today, so I don't know, why don't you make sure to like and subscribe to boost all that engagement and watch time and other stuff that I pretend not to care about, and goodbye. I will see you in the next video.